So I've wanted to find a better way to support this cause you're about to hear about for several weeks. Then it clicked, and I was finally able to get the man on the phone to get the word out. So I'm happy to give you this opportunity. Matt Rossi is hands down someone I'm most proud to call a friend. I'm so glad that I worked with him for a few years when I was a loadmaster on C-130s. We deployed together a couple times, and he was a tremendous mentor, and we've kept in touch over the years, fortunately. He recently retired after 21 years in the Air Force, and today we find him on the Appalachian Trail, where he's now about 3/4 of the way through a 2,180-mile hike. And he's doing this all to raise awareness and pledges for a young boy named Nolan, who lives with mixed cerebral palsy after entering the world in a frank breech birth. If you don't know what that means, as I didn't, that means Nolan was pushed through the birth canal, folded in half, and that pinched his umbilical cord, depriving him of oxygen through the birth. So Matt has donated his time, his toughness, and, of course, his generosity to hike the trail, raising money for Nolan's treatment. And you can go ahead and pull up the page to read more and pitch in at pledgeit.org/miles-for-Nolan. Once you have that up, go ahead and listen to this short conversation in which Matt and I discuss his motivation to do this just weeks after retiring from a full career in the military. It's preposterous they don't have a deli in there.
I know. No deli, no fresh fruits and vegetables, but there's a grocery store, I guess, like across the parking lot. So I'm gonna try to hit that up and at least get some avocados there before getting back on the trail.
Oh yeah. So what are you eating for the most part then?
Dude, it's pretty much been protein powder, protein bars, a lot of walnuts, pecans, almonds, and cheese, blocks of cheese. Yeah.
All right. It's whatever you can carry, really, right?
It is. When I first started, I tried to keep it pretty balanced, with grains, and things like that. Like a lot of people, and myself, I was using or eating Knorr's, like pasta sides, Knorr's rice sides. And those were okay, but you know it just wasn't doing it, and so then I got to where I was just eating a lot of junk, a lot of junk from Dollar General store, just to get the calories. I wasn't really thinking about the sugar. So, before I started the trail, I was only taking in about anywhere between 28 and 32 grams of sugar a day. And then I went from that to taking in about 100, 150 grams of sugar per day. And it wasn't it was a very stupid thing to do, because I wasn't thinking about the sugar. I was only thinking about the calories,
Mhm.
but it didn't matter because those calories they were all empty calories. um, and my body just wasn't handling it, and I wasn't getting the long sustained energy that I needed. So anyway, after, well, like I had mentioned on the radio program, I kind of, after that day when I just had like that meltdown, I went, all right, I'm just going to kind of go pretty much 80-90% ketogenic, with fats and proteins, and just use that as my fuel source.
Man, that can be really tough though, because you haven't had that opportunity to really transition your body into that.
Um,
Right. So
it,
just jumping into it like that, did you find that you were still kind of crashing at times?
no,
No?
no, I didn't have an issue with it at all. Like I said, it was about, mm, let's see, I went to South America back in January. So I'd say around December is when I kind of had started eating meat again, um, every now and then. And then, of course, when I was down in Chile and Argentina, you know, you can't go down there and not eat the meat. It almost sounds cliche to say that Argentina has the best beef, but they truly do have some pretty amazing, beef, and it's not, it's not ungodly expensive like it is here. I mean, you can get a 16-ounce steak for about $12, and it's what you would pay for a $60, $70 steak here. It's unbelievable.
Jeez, it's amazing. But let's circle back to the beginning and where are you right now?
I'm inside a Walmart. I'm actually in the menswear section of a Walmart in what city is this? Dalton, Massachusetts. At the moment, came off the trail to do a quick resupply and um, get try to eat a whole chicken.
Eat a whole chicken. Well, you're gonna need that. You're gonna want that. Now, this is your 11th week on the Appalachian Trail. You did 21 years in the Air Force, so you've already done a lot of incredible things in your life, no doubt. Did you ever think that the next challenge was going to be the Appalachian Trail?
I absolutely did not. This kind of was a whim, and when I started terminal leave in November, you know, I had kind of told myself prior to starting terminal leave that I was going to take a year off and do nothing, and just kind of enjoy the freedom, and I did a little bit of nothing, but when February came, when I officially retired in 1 February, about second or third week in, I went, I don't know that I can sit around and do absolutely nothing. And so I felt like I needed to do something with a sense of purpose, considering that's all I'd done for the last 21 years. So yeah, I contacted a mutual friend of ours and asked if his sister-in-law would be welcome to the idea of me hiking the Appalachian Trail, on behalf of her son.
So you met Nolan, who this is all about. How did you meet him? It was in November. Was it on terminal leave?
Yeah, yeah, it was on terminal leave. So Thanksgiving Day last year, 2017, went and officially, met him in person. I'd met him when his mother was pregnant with him. His mother Bobby uh, was pregnant with Nolan, and you know, um, we just kind of hit it off. He took a shine to me, and I took a shine to him, and spent most of Thanksgiving Day and the next day coloring. And I hadn't colored in a coloring book in quite a while. And anyway, I had a great time, and just realized that he was a special kid, and he's got some challenges ahead of him, now and in the future in life, and I figured if I could do something to help alleviate those challenges, then why not do something um, to help him.
His story is actually it's up on the Pledge It website where people can go to donate. And so he's 6 years old with what is this mixed cerebral palsy? It seems like they've found some treatment though.
Yeah, they have. They've been doing the ABM.
And that Daniel method.
There you go. Thank you. And it seems to have a real uh, big impact on helping him with his walking. Most kids his age with cerebral palsy, they can't walk or stand on their own, and because of this type of treatment, he's been able to, and he's only been getting better at, being able to walk and stand unassisted.
So you met him in November. About February, 3, 4 months later, you decided you were going to do this. What was the connection to the trail? What made you want to go to the Appalachian Trail and hike nearly 2,200 miles?
That's a yeah, that's a great question. I don't know. I guess I'm kind of a spectrum guy. It's either all or none, and I figured I could you know just sit at home behind a computer and ask for a bunch of donations, or do something really, really extraordinary, um, to really help, get the word out, for awareness of cerebral palsy and and this type of treatment, this ABM, and just do something extraordinary like that.
And so, with that, these donations that are coming in are going toward the ABM treatment, and people can go to pledgeit.org/miles for miles dash for dash Nolan. You can just do a simple Google search on that to contribute. When is this expected to be complete? You've got it probably about a month left.
Probably. So I'll circle back around. All the donations and all the pledges, all of the money go directly towards the treatment. I want to make sure everybody knows none of that money goes to me whatsoever. None of that money goes to fund, my food expenses or any expenses that I have on the trail. All the expenses I incur on the trail, I'm paying for out of pocket. Um, and as far as the trail, yeah, I mean, with the amount of miles that I've been doing per day, um, probably within the next 30 days. So today is the 24th of May. I do plan to slow down, and probably won't be doing the 30 miles a day like I had been. Um, and so probably come down to about 25, maybe 20, because the terrain is going to start getting a lot more difficult as I head into Vermont, New Hampshire, and Maine. Um, but as of right now, I've only got about 620 miles left to go. So I very well could be done in about 30 days. So if that's the case, that'll just put me at completing the trail in just a little over 3 months.
I was feeling pretty good about myself today. I woke up, I did 3 miles at the park here right after I dropped the kids off at school, and I saw an owl in a tree. I took a picture of it. It's like, man, this nature is great. I'm doing such a good job. And now here I am talking to someone who's doing 30 miles a day. So, anything you've learned in these past couple months that really sticks out?
Oh man, wow. You know, um, yeah, I mean, I guess, I've learned a lot about myself, like 21 years in the military. You go through a lot of adversity, and I've or gone through quite a bit and experienced it, and experienced some of the other airmen go through it. But this is a different type. This has been a real challenge that I didn't expect. And so um, I didn't think that I was going to have to persevere every day like I had to um, the first 6 weeks. And there's some days um, where they're pretty tough. Like yesterday was kind of a tough day. And so yeah, I've learned a lot about myself and what I'm still able to kind of go through and overcome. You know, Other things I've learned that aren't just about myself, or just how many how many people there are in the world that know about the Appalachian Trail, that come to America, that get a visa and come to America just to hike the trail, just to push themselves, and it really is awesome to see. Um, you know, the amount of people that come out here and try and push themselves to complete it, or even just do 20 20 days, 30 days, doing only maybe 5-10 miles a day. It's really good to see, that not all Americans are couch potatoes. So and I mean, I guess the I've definitely learned that Backpacking can be expensive. Long term backpacking can get really expensive. I definitely wasn't expecting to incur the amount of expenses I did, but that's just part of it. It's part of the adventure.
And so you're meeting a lot of people on the way. And I guess another thing you've learned, I watched the video from a couple days ago. People in Connecticut aren't as bad as you might think. So how are you actually meeting people who are helping you out along the way?
So that's the crazy thing is you know I'm I'm a pretty gregarious person, and but sometimes, you know, I'll just be sitting there, and a lot of people will just see the backpack or they'll see the trekking poles, and they will just come right up and go, "Hey, are you a through hiker?" And I'm like, "Yeah." And they're like, "Do like what happened the other day. They're like, "Hey, do you want to come to our house and get a shower?" It's like, well, yeah, sure. People come up and um, say, "Hey, let me get you I'll buy you a cup of coffee or just whatever." But then some people you just start talking to them. You figure there's a lot of introverts, in the world. There's a lot of introverts on the trail, but I'm not necessarily an introvert myself, but I had hiked with some people that you could tell they were introverts before they started the trail. And then after about 2 or 3 weeks, when we got off the trail to do resupply, they're just talking to people, you just have a different perspective on life, and you just have a different perspective on how things are, out here in the real world, um, you pretty much learn to just talk to anybody.
I know we wanted to keep this fairly short, 'cause you got some things to do. the
Yeah.
the site for people to pitch in again and donate pledge is pledgeit.org. Also, you can find it on the Miles for Nolan Facebook page. Am I missing anything though with in regards to how folks can help out or at least follow you along the rest of your journey?
No, no, I think that's the best way. I have an Instagram set up, Miles for Nolan. I don't, unfortunately, post enough pictures on there. I do more stuff, via Facebook, which some people would call the old people way. But no, you pretty much hit the nail on the head, and I've been trying to do a lot more Facebook lives. Um, just to say hello to everybody, and say thanks to everybody for their support. So no, that's pretty much it.
And then I'm gonna see what I can do. I'm gonna try to put a banner or something up on the bootsoffpodcast.com. We'll see if I can figure out how to link to the pledges as well. But is there anything else that you want to say? I'd like to get you out here to Arizona sometime so we can sit down and talk a bit more in depth. You don't have to hike out here. I would definitely advise against it. You can take a plane or a car.
Yeah, I definitely look forward to coming out there and doing a more long form podcast. Yeah, I think after this, my hiking boots will probably be hung up for just a little while. Until I can at least gain feeling back into my feet. I haven't felt my feet probably in a couple weeks. Like there's portions of them that are sore, but like my toes and balls of my feet, they're numb. They've been numb for about, I don't know, 5 weeks now or so. Anyway, that's just again, that's just part of the adventure. But thanks again for having me on, and thanks for your support and helping me get the word out. I appreciate it.
Well, and what is it? You said a couple times that there are some very challenging days to get through. Obviously, this is something many people wouldn't can't see themselves doing is hiking 2200 miles through the mountains. But what is it that gets you through those days? What keeps you pushing forward?
Man, yeah, that's a great question. Some days it's me realizing that no matter how bad a day I'm having, or how tough because of how tough the terrain is, or how steep the elevation is, it pales into comparison to young kids like Nolan, who you know has much worse than I do. That any pains that I'm having in my legs and in my back, just don't compare. And like I said, any elevation changes or terrain difficulties, again, they pale in comparison to what him and others like uh, Nolan have to deal with on a day-to-day basis, and that's what keeps me going.
You don't need me to tell you that you're doing amazing work out there every day. But for now, we're gonna keep supporting you. We're gonna keep following you and Nolan, and just stay safe out there. And we'll talk to you again soon, somewhere down the trail or when it's over.
Awesome, awesome. Yeah, I definitely look forward to it. Maybe we can do another one of these again. Before I come out there. Um, Give you an update or maybe the day I summit Katahdin, we can do something. It'd be cool. But thanks again, man. I appreciate it.
Yeah, no doubt. He's a fascinating human. So to follow Matt on the trail and to learn more about Nolan, like the Miles for Nolan page on Facebook. Matt posts videos from the Appalachians there, along with the occasional Facebook Live, and those are fun to watch. It's always interesting to see what he's up to, how he's doing. And then eventually, we hope to have an opportunity soon to sit down together and chat in a more long form conversation to branch out and discuss more of this and other topics. So that's it, Miles for Nolan. Check it out and swing by the bootsoffpodcast.com. I'll try to have a direct link up there, easy to find. Thanks for listening.